Recording in progress.
Okay, we will.
Bob,
Gonna go green.
Is this supposed to go green?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
that's big, push it.
All right, is that good?
I've learned the hard way.
All right.
So as not to have to repeat myself. Okay, thanks, everybody. We will now call to order Paris County Improvement District Number 1 Board of Directors meeting. Are there any board members present on Zoom? Do not think so. Are there members of the public present on Zoom? No?
I think we do have one, Margaret Dunlap.
Is she on?
She should be on.
Feel you may be able to see. No?
Go ahead. No one's on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have to worry about any comments from the public?
No.
Thank you. Okay. First order of business is to approve the minutes from September 25th, 2024. Could I have a motion to approve minutes, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, now we're going to conduct a public hearing on the 2024 district tax rate proposed. We're calling the hearing to order and turning it over to Stephen.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just to kick off the public hearing, I'll let everybody know where we are in the process. This is step 2 of the yearly 2-meeting process to set the tax rate. At your previous meeting, you adopted the preliminary tax rate and authorized us to publish notice of that tax rate. We did that. Today, you will hear information supporting the levy of the maintenance and operation tax and the debt service tax.
Okay.
And our president, Michael Moore, is going to present information on the maintenance and operation tax.
Okay.
Stop me at any time if I go too fast. Here's the assessed value for the 24-25 fiscal year. It's $6.75 billion. Tax rate we're proposing, which is the same tax rate we've had since 2013, Shannon, correct me if I'm wrong, which is a little bit less than our overall tax rate. It's only changed once in the entire life of the district. 0.14345, total revenue $9.6 million. We collect about 99% of all tax revenue. Our debt service is 0.045, $3 million in debt, 3.077, debt service 0.097, and our operating tax rate for an operating revenue of 6.6 million. Okay.
Can we put aside like any reserve ever?
Okay.
So we do. We budgeted off of a $6.4 billion value back in June. You see now we're setting a tax rate on 6.7. That will most likely be paid, and the cycle is it'll be paid, it'll be litigated, it'll be given back. So hopefully we'll have some surplus, but we did have barrel in this fiscal year, and then we are prepared to give back in litigation. So we might add to the surplus and then give it back on this cycle that we go through.
And and correct me if I'm wrong, and during the good times when the valuations were going up, we did do a good job of having, saving,
Yeah, exactly.
building up our reserves. We're kind of flat these days.
Okay.
So, and we've had some extra expenses. So
We're
here's the
not
tax.
dipping into those reserves, right?
Yeah. What's that?
We're not dipping.
We
into
have
those
dipped
reserves.
into them in the recent past. Yeah. Right now, this year, we're not planning on doing it. We're planning on using what the budget is, and we're probably going to get a little bit back. We're not sure how much from the valuations from what we budgeted. We budgeted lower than what we think we're going to get in. Okay. Here's the historical tax value. As you can see, it flattened out in 16, 17, 18. That's when the litigation really started. People started litigating their valuations. We've been flat. Of course, here is this is COVID. The orange is personal property. The gray is real property. 2023, I'll note 2023 and 2024, especially 24, are still being litigated, the valuations. So we are going to see some drop in the 6 million valuation in 2024. Here's what, last year, here's the budget, our budgeted number, 6.5 million, we budgeted 6.4 this year. There was a certified value at 6.9 billion. Do you remember what's come down to?
Yeah, it's coming out quite a bit, it's 6.4 as of today.
6.4. So litigation took out 500 million.
So we over budgeted. I mean, we budgeted too high.
We budgeted too high last year. We brought down the budget for 2024 from last year's number, and we also brought down the certification value from last year's.
John, you may remember we had an adjustment in the middle of the year.
September.
I remember.
So,
Yeah.
yes, you're,
Then we gave up that's when we gave up the Thanksgiving holiday.
Right.
yeah, we gave back a holiday.
The parade.
250,000 came out from that.
Excuse me, Michael, we do have, someone waiting to get in on Zoom, so I just want to go. I don't see. I don't see them there.
We good?
Yeah, she's not on.
Okay.
So I guess my question is, what happens if it comes back and it's lower than what we thought?
We have to cut the budget. We're looking at cutting the budget now. We have Beryl that increased expenses, and we'll talk about that. We had a budget number for the installing the trees that was a little lower than it actually is. Electricity's a little bit higher. We've got a number of things that are going up. We're hoping that we can cover it with the increased revenue we have in, which is probably 150, 200,000. But if not, we got to cut budget. It's just, we've already been talking about that ever since the hurricane. And there's other things like Gina and I were talking earlier. We're not going to replace the trees right now. It's because we can't. We're going to look at, it might be one or two, and then we'll look at next year replacing the trees when we can, but we'll cut budget. This is the first Gina. Okay. So, any more questions before we hand it over to our financial advisor?
Leslie Cook with RBC Capital Markets, financial advisor to the district. It's my job to ensure that you are levying enough on your debt service side in order to pay your bondholders. And so that letter is essentially a recommendation of the tax rate. Shannon and I work together, and so all the numbers you see here correspond to what Michael just presented. So we're looking at a total tax rate of 0.14345 at a 99.8% collection rate. And so this is a cash flow of your debt service fund, and so your obligations go out to 2049. We assume only 2 years of interest generated in this account at 4%. That's pretty conservative, obviously. You're gonna generate interest all the way down the line at 4%, who knows? We plugged in your debt service tax rate of 4.563 pennies, and we estimate that that's gonna bring in $3.077 million. You've got a little bit of balance in your debt service fund, and so that is available to us if certified values don't quite come in where we think they're going to. But essentially, it's going to be a break-even year in your debt service fund, and you should be more than able to meet your principal and interest obligations.
Any questions for Leslie?
Questions? Any questions at all about any of this? Because I guess now we have to have a motion to approve this tax
After we
rate.
come out of the public hearing.
Sorry, yes,
After we come out of the public hearing.
that's okay. So, no more questions. We will now adjourn the public hearing. And now we will consider or levying the taxes. Stephen?
Order taxes is on page 10 of your book, and it is the official action by the board to approve the proposed debt service tax rate of 0.04563 and the operating tax rate of 0.09782, giving a total tax rate of 0.14345.
If there are no further questions or comments, I'd like a motion to adopt the order levying taxes, please.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. Now, we have to also amend our district information forms. Stephen, you can just walk us through that, please.
Page 12 is the amendment to your district information form, and what this is something that all the board has to sign, and it gets filed in the Harris County deed records, and the purpose is to put anyone that buys property in the district on notice that we do collect a tax and that we have issued debt.
Any questions?
A motion would be appropriate to authorize the amendment to the district information.
Okay, second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the motion to amend the district information form, take appropriate action, is passed. By the way, if you did not sign when you came in, you will be held until you sign. So if you wish to leave, please sign it on your way out. Yeah, I've already done so. Thanks. Okay, now we're going to get an update from Michael.
All right. Like I said, we have substantial damage here in Borough. Shannon and Clark have been working, this isn't easy stuff. Shannon and Clark, especially Clark, has been on top of this from day one. You have to have a picture of each tree, picture of each stump, picture of each irrigation. You have to have the coordinates of it, and we also have to get it all.
FEMA.
FEMA. We're going to ask the federal government to repair some of the boulevard and repair. We can get paid for cutting down a tree, we can be paid for trimming a tree. We can't get paid more for straightening a tree than we did for cutting the tree down. All these different rules. And so we're, the damage that we can submit, Clark, tell me if I'm wrong, is $284,000. So we're submitting our damages that we can submit. We're submittable, I can submit to FEMA, $284,000. We're expected to get out 75%, which is $213,000.
And what was the total projected loss that we had?
It was over 400,
It's another 200,000 for just trees alone.
so almost 500,000.
Okay.
And so, and Gina and I talked earlier, we will have a plan at a later date for replacing the trees. We have 11 trees right now, still that are sitting out at the environment. And so, at some point in time, we will start replacing those first. We'll hit there's a section out here that lost 5 trees.
What's the cost per tree roughly to do the
It's
replacement?
15,000. If we were to buy it and grow it and then plant it, it's 15,000.
What is it for just to plant it? 6 points?
It's about $5,000.
$5,000. So we're hoping, once we get it, yeah.
So we have 11 of them.
We have 11, and we have 21 in storm and a couple others that have been hit by cars.
How is it that they're so expensive? I mean, I can't.
They're going
wrap
in
my
the
head around it.
boulevard, they're actually
Those
going
are
in.
some trees. I mean,
They're, they,
Gold or?
they live in a box, they live in a box, we put them in a box. We have irrigation, we gotta take out, if they're on the sidewalk, we gotta take out the pavers.
Primarily, it's retail price, you could say, or wholesale price to buy a tree. Then we have to build custom boxes for the tree to grow into, since it has a confined space in the street. And then we have to pay for 5 years for the tree to grow, and they take care of the tree for 5 years. But then to move it, by then it's so big, it takes cranes to move it, and then to put it in the ground.
So you can't put a smaller tree and let it grow there?
Oh, you could, but you can't have a bus go under it.
Oh,
These have
okay.
to have clearance for the bus.
And like the boxes they're living in right now, they have copper lining, so that the root will go in a circle.
we can't throw the trees under the bus. We have to throw them over.
So Clark and
The
Shannon,
sidewalk would be not as much a problem as on a bus.
Yes.
so we'll get hopefully a little over 200,000 back from FEMA to help us cover. We still have other expenses. For example, we need to thin out the trees. The top of the tree acts like a sail, the canopy, and so we're gonna need to thin it out. We're lucky that last one didn't come through here. Thin it out for next storm season, so that the wind actually can go through the branches instead of acting like a sail. We had 25% of our 1,000 trees affected, something like that. And y'all will see that on the sidewalks around the base, we've got them wedged in. The granite collars were cutting into the tree bark. And so the best thing to hold them right now to get them hopefully stabilized is wood, because the wood will not, it's a better, it won't cut into the bark like the granite collar. So we're still trying to figure out how to get rid of those wedges. So when you walk, Jonathan, when y'all walk up down the boulevard, you're gonna see them for a little while longer until we figure it out. And that's an expense. Wilson's Gully, we've been working on Wilson's Gully for a long time. We got some issues, we're getting closer and closer. November, early December.
I would say, yeah, late December.
Okay.
They're pouring the cap, the last junction box, early next week.
One of the caps caved in when they poured it, so they had to dig it out and recap it again. They've already been filling in the other parts of the alley. They've been meeting with the neighbors about the fences they're going to be putting up. Meetings have been going well.
Yeah, we went last night, met with Inverness and a couple of the residents from the Wyndon kind of circle. And no, yeah, just answered a lot of questions and communicated, because they rightly so have been kind of frustrated with their view kind of being that. So, no, that went really well though last night.
So
Not
after we cap, thank you, JC, after we cap it, we'll be putting landscaping, we're rebuilding their fences, and then cleaning up the yard unit. That's right behind the property. This is the cap, one of the caps that fell in. It's a really complex project. Metro, back in June, July, I told you they're going to change the timing and the buses. We have seen a drop-off in the ridership. I will bring this back up to y'all every couple of months. I'm not going to do it every single month, but every couple of months.
Dropping off.
Drop it off. And we'll come back to, we met with Metro, Jonathan, after your comments last time. Here is the, so ever since the line started during COVID, it's been steadily going up. The ridership's been steadily going up. You always have a little bit down. But I went to 30, this is 30,000 boardings per month. This is 29,000 boardings per month. This is when the derecho hit, 25,000. June, 28,000. This is when the Metro went from 15-minute headways to 20-minute headways, and they changed the equipment. Equipment, I think it's the right size for the boulevard at this point in time. So we got rid of the diesel articulated buses, long buses. Now we got the CNG, shorter buses, and I think they work just as well on the boulevard. It would be nice if they painted them. They're not going to do that right now. But when they changed the headways, we started seeing a drop. This is Burl. We saw a drop in 2019-16. Now we met with Jonathan, I know we've been talking about this. We met with Metro, 2 weeks ago? Judy? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. We met with the head of their engagement.
And ridership and client services.
Director of Client Services
And public
and ridership. We also met with the senior engagement representative. We talked about ways to get ridership back up. I think everybody at the table also agreed that you're not going to get ridership back up without 15-minute headways or lower. So this same slide and comments will go back to the interim CEO of Metro saying, hey, what is the criteria for going back to 15-minute headways?
He's almost cut in half from December
Wow, it's
23.
crazy.
And so, and every month I'll add to this and I'll send it back to them. It's on there. We're also going to ask them, if you look up Metro ridership, you'll see it, we're kind of singled out. We've got the ridership for the buses is back to normal. Ridership, parking ride is not. Parking ride was supposed to be feeding the Silver Line. They've got it separated into
BRT.
BRT. We're not BRT anymore. If we're going to be If we're not VRT, then go ahead and put us in the regular bus schedule. And don't have a single out, because we've dropped substantially. 30, what was it, Bob,
32.
32% since they changed the headways. I'll keep you updated. We're meeting, Jonathan, our main target with meeting with the Metro folks was to, we've got some large employers coming in next year and the year after. We got Lyondell coming in around March with over 1,000 employees. We got Camden coming in the next year with over 500. We've got somebody moving into this building. We've got Mitsubishi just taking over the couple floors across from Waterwall. So we've got people moving in, and so,
What about like Simon, you guys have to, tons of employees. They could-
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so when,
I'd love
especially,
you to come speak to my employees.
Yeah. we'll have them, that could be our first practice, so you can,
Be my guest.
yeah, so, there we
I
have.
mean, and I'm telling you, a lot of them just don't understand.
Yeah.
And I've been like, go on the website, do this, but
You have to have it like,
you need to make it simple, stupid.
print it out for them.
Yeah.
Here are the routes that come from Sugar Land, here are the routes that come from
Yes.
Katy.
And I know
And
that
here
a lot
it's a
will do
time.
it. I mean, you know, we have 60 people, if we get 10 of them to do it.
Right, but they're not gonna go research it and figure it out and do all that.
Keep it simple,
Yeah.
stupid, just come, Joel.
So
And maybe spend 2 minutes with each one going, from
Right.
your house, here
Right.
it is, and then you do
Right,
that.
right.
the Metro team we met.
And I'll even
with-
buy them their first like month or two for Metro Pass, I mean,
Right,
just
just to get them
get
going.
them, do it, yeah.
So
I might even buy them for like the whole time, forever, I don't know. I mean, I'd rather them do that than drive to work. Huh?
we're hoping that what we put together for like.
Supplement it somehow, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pay 50%.
Hopefully, over these periods, we're gonna learn something to help us.
Yeah.
When there's Lyondell, when that 1,000 and 15 and then the other 500 coming in. We're actually working together with our public relations and Galleria about putting together a package for Lyondell and Camden and all the other move-ins. So they go to Uptown Park, so they go to Post Oak Plaza, so they go to the Galleria. And they know it instead of trying to figure it out over a year or 2 years.
100%, I mean,
Yeah.
but
And I
please
did
feel free, I will
the office
gladly set up a
management.
practice run for you.
Okay,
The office management for the 3 office towers is very interested, yeah.
that'd be great.
Because look, all these people want to get their, first of all, they want cars off the road, so it's
Mhm.
less traffic, and I can assure you they want cars out of the parking projects. Especially like Williams Tower,
Williams Tower, they will need it.
who's
Yeah,
stuffed,
they will,
who's
they will.
stuffed, who's stuffed like a sardine.
Okay.
You know, they
Well-
want to get those cars out of the garage.
We're working on that. We also talked about them. We got empty spaces on the South Transit Center. They can park at the Transit Center and get on the bus. We also, so we're working on a lot of issues, including Galleria's got daycare. And so getting all those folks like acclimated into Uptown as easy as possible. Kind of a welcome package.
Yes.
Crime stats.
Oh,
Our number one crime issue is car break-ins. People leave their computer, people leave their purse, people leave their bag in the front seat or back seat. We have gone down, this is compared from the same time period of 2023 to 2024. We're over 30% drop in vehicle break-ins, breaking into a car, and stealing a car. The Galleria is seeing the same numbers or even
Over
higher.
50 now.
Oh,
Over
wow.
50?
Yeah, 52%
52 in what period?
reduction from,
Reduction, great.
same from 9 months from 23 to 24.
Great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
huge
That's great.
decrease. Yeah.
Uptown is a safe place. We're not, we have everybody, every place has some issues. You know, you be smart, but Uptown is one of the safest places in the city of Houston. And Jonathan, before I go through this, I would not propose this if I didn't think it was a good budget issue. So I just want to lay that down at the very beginning. We have six, but I think like you do. We have six patrol trucks. They're getting old. They're from 2009 to 2017. TJ, correct me, and Dwayne, correct me when I'm wrong on these. It has cost us over the last 5 years, $256,000 in parts, labor, oil, collision repair. $256,000. We had numerous engine replacements. These trucks were built to be a truck, not to idle and patrol up and down the boulevard. They're built to be trucks. Here's the mileage on the trucks. We've got two that are under 40,000, truck 5 and truck 6 are built in 2017. The average cost for each truck is $9,000 on repairs. Okay, so I'm proposing that we get rid of, we sell the oldest four, and replace them with, it's called the Ford Interceptor. It's the #1 car police officers use around the country. HPD uses them, everybody uses them, constables use them. It's like a Ford Explorer, it's like a Ford Explorer, but they call it the Ford Interceptor. We want to do markings. We're going to do 4. We propose to do 4. We'd like your blessing to move forward. We'll come back with official vote because this is not an official vote. We want to get your thoughts and blessings.
Do you have costs on it or anything?
Yeah, we do. We got it coming up. If we buy the 4, we do a white vehicle, but we want to have all the same markings: police, emergency, non-emergency. Even buy 4 100 blue 100 on them. But this is what the stock Interceptor looks like on their website. We buy a white one, and we put police on the side, probably not that big police. We put a small, using Uptown.
The bigger the better.
We put, like Uptown Houston right here in the line. So you don't see it unless you're close. You see police. We'd have police on the front, police on the back, 911. We'd even put numbers on it so you think it's a fleet vehicle. And we're going to get the same package that HPD gets. We're going to have cages in the back, lights. These cars are built to work patrol. These cars are built to idle. And here are the numbers. So we've spent $256,000 over the last 5 years on maintenance. If we sell 4 trucks, Kelly Blue Book, trucks resell very well. Almost $60,000 for reselling 4 trucks. Cost of the vehicles, to buy each vehicle, that's including the police package on top of it, is $64,000. So we sell 4 trucks, we're basically pay for the first year's cost of the truck. Estimated cost for new trucks is $298,000. That is the loan value. That is the loan cost. That's not the cost of buying. This is with interest. There it is down there.
Where do you buy them?
What's that?
Who do you buy them from?
Shelby is.
Silver Ford is one of the main dealers in this region, supplying the vehicles. Police vehicles are hard to find.
Like what about like Healthman Ford and all those other people that price them at all?
We got
three different
multiple quotes.
places? Yeah, I was gonna say.
We've got multiple quotes on different vehicles, yes, sir.
And then, are they run 24/7, or
We
is
run
that
about
certain
20
hours?
hours a day, roughly.
About 20, and then where do they stay overnight when they're
Here.
not?
in-
They're
in the
parked
parking
here?
garage.
Okay.
The building actually likes them being here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So we would, we buy 4, we keep the 2 newest trucks. We rewrap those newest trucks. We wouldn't wrap them, we just put the same markings that the Interceptors get. We buy 4 new vehicles. This is an estimate. We're working with Regions. We're gonna ask some other banks for an interest rate. I just got this off, we got this off Google.
But sometimes like Ford Motor Company they usually have, the dealerships have the best interest rates because they want you to buy the car from them.
I don't know if they do it for fleets, but we'll check that. Shannon, we'll try. Usually they make you, you're correct. I just don't know if they do it for fleets. And we're checking with Regions first. They're our financial institution. 60 months, no sales tax, 3-year warranty. We'll look at the extended year warranty. Estimated cost for 4 new vehicles, $298,000, that's with interest. Yearly payments, $59,000 over the 60 months. So we're basically the first couple of years, it's gonna be almost revenue neutral because of the savings and maintenance, and also selling those 4 trucks.
How many do you
These
run
will
at a time? I'm sorry. How many do you run at a time?
3.
Okay.
And these will have warranties too, so that,
3-year
so,
warranty.
yeah, so I'm saying, so you save a lot, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of savings.
We pay $9,000 per vehicle for maintenance. That includes tires. Now, tires, we don't change that, we take them out every 2 years or so. Yeah, because we don't have a lot of highway traffic on this, hardly none. And so we'll put some kind of down logo under the police. Any questions, any thoughts? What we'd like to do is, with y'all's approval, is go ahead and go forward with this. We have to put in an order before the end of the year to be able to get a place for 2025. We'll bring back, once we get the financing mechanism, the loan, whether we go through a dealership or we go through our bank or another bank, we'll bring that to you back for a vote.
So there's no action to take at
There's
this
no
point?
action.
No action to
This is
take today.
information,
This is-
everybody
is
will
everybody-
be back with all the numbers to formally approve it, but this is letting us go ahead and place the order, so to speak, is that right, Michael?
Correct. And so we're also moving forward with moving from patrol to police.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
The, TJ and I talked, we want a little more visibility on Post Oak
And
Boulevard.
TJ, that's okay for us to do that,
Yes, sir.
to call it police?
Yes, we can't say Houston Police, but
Got
we
it.
can say police. Everybody that drives that vehicle is certified police officer.
Perfect. I think that's wonderful. It's a great
When-
idea.
When we go get it from maintenance, we'll stick a magnetic out of service sign on the side, to go get it serviced. And we have to, because Dwayne's
That's
not,
the way the county mechanics handle that, they have to
Okay.
drive it to the dealership, they just put a out of service sticker on the side so that nobody thinks they're a police officer. You know, it's dangerous for them to be driving the vehicle as well as getting
Yeah,
banged down
sure.
on an incident.
Okay.
We rebrand the older models as police as well at the same time.
we'll get rid of the wrap. It's about, TJ looked, it was about $480 to get the police markings on it. It's gonna be more expensive to get the wrap off of it too, than to, it'll wrap that into the sale of the rest of them. So what we'll do is if y'all are okay, we'll go ahead with this, go forward to bring back the financing mechanism of the
Everybody okay with that?
cost.
Yes.
Okay, great.
And I really do, when I say, we're gonna have some kind of uptown marking on it, but I really do want it to look, all the markings like a regular police car. All right. Holiday decor, we've already started putting it up. Last year, we said we don't have the $250,000 lighting of the trees and stuff, so we're starting the lighting of the trees on the boulevard. It's gonna be November 8th, after the election. Give people one side or the other, something to cheer about. And so the 300+ trees will go on. The Galleria has their big, on the
November
9th.
9th.
So we'll be turning them on the 8th.
Yeah.
We'll have TV and newspaper coverage. And then here it is. Stars are already stars go on immediately because they're connected to the lights, yeah. And then the turkey trot, again, I think we told you about this last time. The turkey trot's back. I think they've got almost 4,000 registrants. The number when they stopped a year ago was 8,000. We're trying to push that number. So my kids and I will be on it. My wife will be sleeping.
I'll see you there.
A couple other cool things. Had a good conversation with Steve Alvis, who is Jonathan, I think you know him. He's a commissioner of TxDOT. He is also, is it Newquest?
Yeah.
He's head of Newquest. He's commissioner, he was at the Texas Transportation Advocacy Group, state of TxDOT meeting. There was about 800 people in the audience. The mayor was there, many council members was there, and he did a shout out from the stage of Uptown. He said, our highways, our on-ramps, off-ramps, our high ramps are a disgrace. Dallas's are all clean. We have failed on cleaning the highways, and I have to tell you, we want them to look like Uptown. And the mayor was in the audience, so he wants to look like Uptown. I immediately walked up to him and handed him my car. He said, hey, thank you for those comments, hand my card. He goes, we would like to, they're gonna go to, in Joby Allen, they're going to Joby Allen to help expand what TechStop does and ask the management districts to do a little more, expand some of their areas and do cleaning around the freeways. I walked up, handed my card, we're already doing a lot, but we'd love if y'all help with the costs.
Yeah.
There, so we're gonna meet with him, coming up. We had a really good, he called back 2 days later, so we had a really good conversation about it. We're gonna go through all the costs that we already do. We have agreement with TechStop to keep parts of it clean and maintain, and so we're gonna try to expand it. I feel like the corner of San Philippi and 610 and Westheimer 610 reflects on us. And so we wanna do everything we can, to have that maintained well and, looking good. So we're having that conversation. The other one is, the county is moving forward with joining the Uptown Terps. And so there'll be a vote, coming up at City Council, I think it was November 20th? We have to have the paperwork on the 6th, it'll be November 20th, and before that, it'll be taken to Commissioner's Court. And so it's not gonna be the full 100% of the increment, it will be 30 to 40%. We're still looking at the number. There'll be affordable housing, part of that. Commissioner Briones is very, she's pushing a lot of projects. She wants to do some stuff in Memorial Park. We'll have the affordable housing, 30%, but it's a good deal. We'll get some money out of it for infrastructure, not all of it. Some will go to Memorial Park and some will go to projects that the commissioner wants to do. But it also gives us the opportunity to maybe at a later date, expand the date when you got both the county and the city involved. And it has been, we're working on the numbers, don't have them ready. I went a little bit too fast with you, Steve, when I told you to work on the numbers. Bob and others are working on these with Delia.
You just went too fast for me to understand it.
Yeah. The investment the city has made in the TERS with the management district on top of it has been a great deal for the city. For our sales tax, hotel tax, and the valuation of all the properties outside of the TERS have paid back in billions of dollars for the city, the county, and the state. We'll have those numbers at some point in time. We're not quite ready for it, but we'll bring back more details on the county joining the TERS. It's a good deal. That's all I have. But open for
Any questions? Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, we will adjourn our meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If anybody